All right, you guys, we are here for part 2 of the Cadaver Lab Christmas Extravaganza. Isn't this wonderful, right? The first episode that, if you haven't watched that yet and you want to get started on December 1st, we went over the first 12 days of Christmas, and we're going to be talking about the rest of them. So why don't we get into that right now? All right, we'll start with December 13th, which brings us our last movie on the list from a Norse country. It's the Finnish classic called Rare Exports, and it's from 2010. In the frozen wilds of Lapland, young Pietiari overhears whispers of the real Santa Claus buried beneath the mystical mountain of Korventunuri or something. Man, I shouldn't have even put that in there. I knew I wasn't going to be able to pronounce that. Just as an American archaeological team begins excavating the site, when the ancient feral beast, a hulking, naked, whip-cracking monster, far from the jolly gift giver, is unearthed. It unleashes a wave of child abductions across the region, turning holiday cheer into primal terror. Teaming with his widowed father, Rauno, a struggling reindeer herder Pietiari races to trap the rampaging Yuletide horror and expose the dark folklore of truth before it claims every naughty or nice kid in sight. It's funny because Pietiari in that is a kid, and this has a bunch of kids in it, and it's so funny. That the plot synopsis cracks me up because it seems like Pietiari is this big strong. No, he's just a little kid with a mullet. Anyways, let me ask you something. What do a giant Krampus-like beast and hundreds of Santa dongs have in common? Well, I'll tell you, they're both in this movie. It's a quirky, fun, wild ride of a movie, seriously. This is one of my favorite movies, not just Christmas movies, man. I love it. You can stream this at Philo, Midnight Pulp, Night Flight, AMC Plus, Screenbox, and Fandor. You can rent it from Apple TV, Fandango at Home, and Amazon. Moving on. December 14th. It brings us to an underknown film, and we're talking about Better Watch Out by 2016. It's best that you go into this one knowing as little as you can, but here's just a taste of what it's about. On a quiet suburban street during Christmas time, babysitter Ashley is left alone with her young charge, 12-year-old Luke, when his parents head out for the night. What starts as a routine evening quickly escalates into a terrifying home invasion, forcing Ashley to protect the boy from intruders, only for the situation to unravel in unexpected and sinister ways. That's all I'm going to tell you, but trust me, the less you know about this, the more fun you'll have, and with this one, you can stream it on Prime, Peacock, Philo, Screenbox, the Roku channel, Canopy, Fandango at Home, Pluto, Plex, Bloodstream TV, which is something that I learned about Bloodstream TV while I was putting this video together. You might want to go check that out. I had just actually put it on my phone, but you can also stream this on Hoopla. You can rent this on Amazon and Apple TV, Fandango at Home, just kind of the regular ones. I think I'm going to get quite a lot of slack for this next one. Due to be watched on December 15th, folks, I'm going to tell you, and you're going to give me crap for it, that maybe the remake of Black Christmas from 2006 is worth watching. Now, I'm not talking about any of the newer ones, the 2022 or 3 or 4, but the 2006 I think is worth watching. Is it great? No. Is it nearly as good as the original? No. But I still like it. It's got a whole lame backstory for the killer from the original. However, it's the same slasher setup where there are a bunch of sorority girls on Christmas Eve, and they're being terrorized by obscene phone calls from a killer. Some die, some don't, but that's about it. I don't hate it, man. I don't love it, but I do have a good time watching it around Christmas time, so I'm going to suggest it to you guys. You can stream it on Fandango at Home, the Roku channel, Plex, Fossum, Pluto TV, rent it from Amazon, Fandango, and Apple TV. Man, moving forward, as I was putting together this list, and looking for the movies to watch December 16th, maybe I shouldn't have put this one so close to the remake of Black Christmas, because this is a very hard movie for me to actually recommend. I'm talking about Christmas Bloody Christmas from 2022. On Christmas Eve, jaded record store owner Tori Toombs just wants to get drunk and party with friends. But her plans shatter when a recalled robotic Santa Claus malfunctions at a nearby toy store, embarking on a bloody rampage that turns the holiday into a fight for survival. I typically enjoy Joe Bagos films. In fact, I really like VFW and I really like Bliss, and I'm actually really looking forward to Jimmy and Stiggs. Which is a movie that I don't really know what it's about, but I hear it's crazy, but he made that in 2024. I haven't had a chance to catch it yet. But the reason that I find it hard to recommend this one is before the killing spree starts, which the killing spree is amazing. We are subject to the most unbearably awful dialogue from the most insufferable characters that I've ever seen in a movie. Like I said, the carnage in the third act is so good. If it wasn't, I'd say skip it, but have at it, folks. You can stream this on AMC Plus, Shudder, Philo, Netflix, Hoopla, rent it on Amazon, Fandango at Home, and Apple TV. Okay, so on December 17th, we're going to be watching Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 from 1987. The only reason I didn't put Silent Night, Deadly Night, the original, on Christmas Eve was because you still need to watch this movie. And if you're following along and you're watching them in order, you'll have enough time in between these two not to get burnt out. Well, that's because the whole first act of this movie is a set of flashbacks to Silent Night, Deadly Night. The rest of the movie is Ricky Caldwell, a younger brother of infamous Santa-suited killer Billy. He grows up by Christmas Eve murders of their parents and his siblings' violent legacy. Now he's a college student in therapy, and his buried rage boils over into a bloody rampage against naughty targets, blending exploitation horror with absurd low-budget flair. This movie is insane. Not only does it include all the best parts from the first movie, but adds some of the most absurd things you've ever seen. Watch it. You can stream it at a ton of places. Prime, AMC Plus, Shudder, Screenbox, Fandor, The Roku Channel, Midnight Pulp, Night Flight, Hoopla, Pluto, Shout Factory TV, and rent it from Apple TV, Fandango at Home, and Amazon. But I'll tell you what, I love this one, and a lot of people give it crap. A lot of people love it, okay, but a lot of people give it crap for the fact that the first half of the movie is just reminiscent to the original. But man, it's so great. I love it. Okay. Oh dear. For December 18th, we've got a bizarre one lined up. This one is one of the greatest Christmas classics of all time. I'm talking, of course, about Christmas Evil from 1980. Traumatized by a childhood glimpse of his father's infidelity in a Santa suit. I thought that was his mom. It's not infidelity. It's just they had a little fetish going on there. It's just, hey, they're banging. But adult toy store factory worker Harry Stadling, by the way, this is a real-life father of Fiona Apple. Does anybody even know who Fiona Apple is anymore? Is she famous? I mean, she used to be. I'm old, though. But anyways, he spirals into obsession, spying on neighborhood kids to judge their naughtiness while crafting an elaborate holiday facade until workplace slights push him over the edge into a delusional, murderous rampage as a real Saint Nick. Brother, what happens when a pure heart of Christmas obsession and a mental dam about to break all come together in the most wonderful day of the year? Well, this happens. This movie happens. It's bizarre, but I love it. Stream it on Prime Video, Fubo, Apple TV, Philo, Screenbox, Night Flight, Eternal Family, which is, by the way, is a wild channel, the Roku Channel, Canopy, Fandango at Home, Plex, Momentum, Geez. This one is everywhere. Rented at Amazon, Fandango at Home, and Apple TV. Man, I am just rattling off all the Christmas goodies. Okay, December 19th, this is no different. This is also a goodie. We have The Mean One from 2022. And this is a slasher parody of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, where the Grinch is played by David Howard Thornton, who also plays Art the Clown, but the Mime. I think it's Art the Mime. But anyways, you know, him from the Terrifier series. It's a snowy mountain town, and young Cindy You-Know-Who, whose idyllic Christmas Eve turns into terror when a bloodthirsty green creature in a tattered Santa suit, the Mean One, slaughters her parents and steals their holiday joy. Years later, as an adult returning home, Cindy uncovers the monster's gruesome annual rampage and vows to end his reign of festive terror once and for all. You know, I got to be honest with you. I was a bit skeptical about all these recent movies based on stories that Disney and other companies made iconic characters out of, right? I think that there are bad ones, sure, but I have enjoyed more than I haven't. Like, I liked Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. That was dark, man. Screamboat, I cracked up. Definitely Winnie the Pooh and the Poohniverse movies. And this seems like one of those, and I have to say that it's great. Just a slasher with a Christmas twist. Good enough for me. For December 20th, we have a French film called The Advent Calendar from 2021. Paraplegic former dancer Eva receives a creepy antique advent calendar from her best friend Sophie as a birthday gift, promising daily surprises leading to Christmas, but each open door unleashes a vengeful supernatural horror tied to Eva's past. Turning the holiday into a nightmarish curse, this one is inventive and interesting, and the actual advent calendar that she's given needs to be snatched up by the guys from Friday the 13th, the series. You can stream it at Philo, AMC Plus, Shudder, Hoopla, and rent it from Fandango at Home, Amazon, and Apple TV. You guys, I got 2 questions for you. Do you like British films? I mean, I know you do. Do you like sleazy films? Stupid question. Well, this next one from December 21st are both. From the producer of Pieces, Don't Open Till Christmas from 1984 is a quintessential viewing around Christmas time every single year. In the grim, foggy streets of London during Christmas time, a psychopathic killer unleashes a savage vendetta against anyone in a Santa suit, stabbing, electrocuting, mutilating his way through the holiday cheer, forcing harried Scotland Yard Inspector Harris to hunt the festive fiend before the carnage spoils the season. Now, I love that this one takes place in the seedy underbelly of London's section of ill repute. I don't know. This flips the story on its head from the likes of Christmas, Bloody Christmas, and Silent Night, Deadly Night. Instead of a killer Santa, it's a killer of Santas. This one's great. Definitely one of my favorites. Stream it on Flixfling, Troma Now, the Roku channel, Fandango at Home, Plex, Fossum, Momentum, and rent it from Fandango and Apple TV. All right, we're coming up here on the end, guys, but the film for December 2nd is our first and only one on the list based off the works of Charles Band. If you know me, you know I love Charles Band. Empire Pictures, Full Moon Features, everything. Even though he did release a film called The 12 Slaves of Christmas recently, I don't necessarily count that as a real movie since it was mainly a clip show used to sell Full Moon's tiny terrors, though I like them a lot. You know, I mean, I just like Charles Band, and like, to me, he does little wrong, but it's just basically an unsubtle way to sell those products. No, ladies and gentlemen, for this list, we're going with Puppet Master vs. Demonic Toys from 2004. This is something that us Full Moon fans were looking forward to for a long time back in those old days. Two of Full Moon's best doll/puppet franchises going at it. Well, it didn't quite work out as expected. In the shadowy world of killer collectibles, descendant Robert Toulon guards his family's secret formula for animating live puppets, but ruthless toy exec Erica Sharp schemes to steal it and unleash an army of demonic playthings on unsuspecting children during Christmas, sparking an epic blood-soaked showdown between the pint-sized horrors. Epic blood-soaked showdown? Not quite. In fact, one thing came to another, and this ended up being made for the Sci-Fi Channel. And I can't remember when it was SCIFI, but now it's Sci-Fi, and now we all just call it Sci-Fi. Remember that time? I'm old too. But it doesn't matter. What does matter is that even though this lacks a lot of the Full Moon flair, it's still a fun one. Corey Feldman plays Robert Toulon. Vanessa Angel plays the evil Erica Sharp, that has a similar ID to Connell Cochran's from Halloween 3. F them kids, right? Stream it with Prime Video, rent from Amazon and Apple TV. All right, though only 10 years old, Krampus from 2015 has become a Christmas classic, and the movie to watch on December 23rd, though it's only PG-13, it has my favorite design of the Beast that I've seen probably ever. By the way, that Beast is Krampus if obviously, I mean, the movie's name. Anyway, sorry. In the midst of holiday chaos, young Max Engel loses faith in Christmas after his extended family's bickering. So he tears his Santa letter into shreds, accidentally summons the horned demon Krampus and his horde of nightmarish minions to terrorize their snowbound home with festive fury. Having big names and probably a bigger budget than most on this list, I'm sure you've added this to your yearly Christmas viewing and got ready, but if you haven't, now is the time to do so. Stream it on Peacock, Apple TV, rent it from Amazon, Apple TV, and Fandango at Home. Here we are, kiddos. Christmas Eve, December 24th. What is a perfect Christmas movie to watch for the night before the big day? I'll tell you, it's definitely the story of a quirky priest and metalhead trying to stop the birth of the Antichrist on Christmas Eve. I'm talking about The Day of the Beast, or El Dia de la Bestia, from 1995. In the bustling streets of 1990s Madrid, Basque priest Father Javier deciphers a biblical code predicting the Antichrist's birth on Christmas Day, forcing him to embrace a life of sin and debauchery, teaming with sleazy heavy metal shop owner Jose Maria and flamboyant TV occultist Angel to avert the apocalyptic horror promised in the Bible itself. You guys, if you're not familiar with Alex de Iglesias films, you need to become familiar immediately. He has written and directed some of the wildest and most batshit crazy films I have ever seen. The idea for this one, basically this priest says, oh, you know what? In order to stop the Antichrist, I need to become one with the Antichrist. So he does all he can to do all these sins, and he sucks at sinning, and it's so funny. Just a hugely fun movie to watch. You'll be laughing. It's crazy. You can watch it on Prime Video, Philo, Shudder, Fandor, Midnight Pulp, Screenbox, AMC Plus, Eternal Family, Hoopla, Fandango at Home, Pluto, Darkroom, and Fossum. Rented at Amazon, at Fandango at Home, and Apple TV. All right, everyone. We've made it. It's December 25th. You woke your butt up early to take care of unwrapping the presents with the kiddos. You're now sitting around in the front room watching the kids play with their loot, but you're feeling like one more Christmas horror movie to watch. Well, it's not a great time to watch blood and guts and boobs. So, let's throw on, a movie that everyone in the family can enjoy. Let's put on Gremlins from 1984. Like I said, a movie the whole family can enjoy. If they like seeing small creatures getting blown up in the microwave, then it's for you. I don't even think that I have to go over the plot or anything like that. But you've made it to the end of your Christmas horror movie watching journey. Good job. But just in case you don't love any of the movies I mentioned above, I'll give you a list of honorable mentions that you can exchange with any of the movies above, starting with any Polonia Brothers Krampus film. By the way, these are so low budget, they are silly and they're kind of bad, so exchange this at your own risk. But you're going to enjoy it. I love it. Elves from 1989. Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 through 5. They're always good. They have nothing to do with the first two. Red Snow from 2021. All the Creatures Were Stirring from 2018. Actually, no, I don't like that one. I think that got on my list last time. I watched it again already, and I decided I don't like that. It's a Wonderful Knife from 2023. Deadly Games from 1982. All Through the House from 2015. Inside 2007. And Adult Swim Yule Log from 2022. All right, that's all I have for this episode. Whatever holiday movies you did watch this season, I hope it's the best. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Like, subscribe, and do all that YouTube-y stuff. Also comment. Make sure to visit thecorpsecollective.com. Everything that we have going on there is there, so you can check out what we have going on outside of this stuff. But other than that, I'll catch you guys later.